if you raise children in this way that they expect, the evolved nest, well, you end up with personalities that are pretty content. It's amazing. But we sort of forgot. We have forgotten. And so what has happened in the West is the wisdom traditions of the West are afraid of their animal nature. Animal nature, no, and nature, oh. But I think it's in part because they've misraised babies for so long that they think this aggressive selfishness that, what looks like a 1.5, 2-year-old tantrum stuff is normal human nature. The animal nature that we fear, and you have to control it with laws and rules and punishment, right? That's all messed up.
Right. What actually needed was more love earlier.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Right.
Wow. It this reminds me of I'm a big fan of the work of Gabor Mate, he's the person who got me dialed into your work, actually, because I've heard him reference you. And he, during a conference, Psychedelic Science 2017, he gave a lecture and he quoted this man who was writing a story about having been in the Amazon and coming across this boy and their father in the jungle. And that I'm going to butcher the quote, so I'm not even going to try, but he said that he looks upon this boy and there's a confidence in a way that almost frightened him, because it was the strongest sense of confidence he had ever seen, and not confidence from something of having achieved something or done something or earned something, but confidence that could only come from knowing at the deepest part of who he is, exactly who he is, and that he has place in this world.
Yes.
And I sometimes I have to remind myself that that's a thing I can feel, and I see around a lot of other people, we just feel like we have to earn our sense of worth, and it's this it's like crabs in a bucket, because we're all trying to earn our sense of worth but tearing each other down in the process.
Right. Yeah. So once you undermine that nest, or you don't provide the nest, you've now made an emptiness in that child, because they assume there's something wrong with them. That's why mom doesn't come, right? Or that's why dad doesn't hits me or something. They internalize that. There's something wrong with me. They have to split off their selves, and then they have to have a big fat ego to protect themselves from that fear and that sense of trauma that they experience. And then they carry that with them, right? And so then they have to, control and dominate other people, or just stay back and not be themselves. So you're losing that unique spirit of each person when you do that. Each of us has a uniqueness, just like every snowflake. Every leaf on a tree is unique. We have something that's, a unique kind of imprint of the universe in us. And when you don't give that nest to allow that to flourish, then you're going to end up with more of a slave type mentality. Or a robopath, some people call it, right? You're sort of an empty self. Colin Turnbull, the anthropologist, contrasts his British upbringing with the Umbuti, whom he studied. And the Umbuti, you can see the kind of thing that you said in the child is so encouraged to grow all their emotions and their intelligences. And by the time they reach adolescence, they're ready for life and they're full of it, of readiness. Whereas he was left with nannies who punished him, went to school punishing. And by the time he reaches adolescence, he's empty. He had nothing. And then so he could be controlled by some ideology or some, authoritarian. The Nazi child rearing manuals talk about abusing children under 3, because they're not going to remember who did it, but you'll break their spirits, and then you'll be able to use threat and control them. Alice Miller talks about this in one of her books, For Your Own Good. It's a good read.